So you think you know the story of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Think again. Everyone knows the iconic image. The dusty Bolivian landscape, a hail of bullets, the end of the Wild West's most notorious outlaws. But what if I told you that might not be the whole story? What if I told you there's a compelling, almost unbelievable, case to be made that Butch Cassidy lived on? That November 1908 wasn't his last ride. We start, of course, with the official narrative. November 6, 1908, San Bartolome, Bolivia, a shootout. 2 bodies, riddled with bullets, identified. Or so it's claimed as Robert Leroy Parker Butch Cassidy and Harry Longabaugh the Sundance Kid. The Bolivian authorities, eager to close the case on these notoriously elusive bandits, hastily buried them in unmarked graves. The legend was born. The Wild West's most romanticized criminals were dead. Case closed, right? Wrong, dead wrong. Let's delve into the fascinating discrepancies. The bodies were identified based solely on what? A few witnesses. Sketchy descriptions. In a region rife with bandits and a language barrier. That is seriously thin evidence for the end of 2 of the most notorious figures in history. And then there's the matter of the sheer implausibility of the shootout itself. Butch and Sundance, arguably the most cunning and resourceful outlaws of their time, gunned down in a relatively open confrontation. It doesn't quite fit their operational profile, does it? These weren't dumb outlaws. They were masters of disguise, escape, and deception. Now, hold onto your hats, because this is where the untold story really begins. For years afterward, whispers circulated. Stories emerged of a man eerily resembling Butch Cassidy appearing in New York, then surfacing in Argentina, always just a step ahead of the authorities. These stories were dismissed as folklore, the ramblings of wishful thinkers. But what if those whispers were more than just idle speculation? One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence that's been meticulously researched and verified, are the letters. A series of letters, penned in impeccable English, were sent to Butch's family after the supposed shootout in Bolivia. The letters contained details only Butch would know, details that couldn't possibly have been known by an imposter. Were these forgeries? Perhaps. But the linguistic analysis, the sheer intimacy of the content, it raises more questions than it answers. Moreover, consider the timing. Butch and Sundance were facing intense pressure in Bolivia. The authorities were closing in. Their escape routes were dwindling. Didn't their legendary resourcefulness suggest a far more sophisticated escape plan than a suicidal last stand? An elaborate ruse, perhaps, a carefully staged demise to allow them to disappear into the anonymity of South America. The impact of this untold story is profound. It challenges our accepted history. It reopens the case, suggesting that the legend of Butch Cassidy might not have ended with a hail of bullets in a dusty Bolivian setting, but rather with a daring, meticulously planned escape into a new life, a life shrouded in mystery and speculation. Did he reinvent himself? Did he start a new family? We may never know for sure, but the evidence, the whispers, the tantalizing clues, they all point to a fascinating, alternative ending, an ending far more thrilling and mysterious than the official narrative. The significance? It shows us that even the most seemingly closed chapters in history can hold surprising, untold truths. It invites us to question, to investigate, to consider the possibility that even the most iconic legends might have more than one ending. And that, my friends, is a story worth telling and retelling and re-examining long after the last bullet has been fired. So next time you hear the story of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, remember this. The ending may not be the end,